these are the ideas that I'm going to implement. So you need that person with that track record.
Let's
I'm with you.
You remember the 24-hour economy this government is doing? Was it there? It was an idea they came up with, not so.
Oh, I mean, if you want us to go into 24-hour economy, we may not finish.
No.
That's one of the populist ideas.
I'm just using it as an example.
Yes.
That you need to generate ideas.
Yes.
Backed with leadership to help solve the challenges. So you can't.
So still on this example of the 24-hour economy. I mean, when was it mentioned? Can you give me 2 instances of implementation? So the ideas can be there, but if you don't get the right leadership to implement, the ideas will be obsolete.
I agree with you, but I'm saying that you need ideas. You cannot say.
I am saying that at the end of the day, our problem as a country is not about ideas. The problems, as at now, we've transcended beyond ideas. Go to University of Ghana. There are a lot of theses that propose solutions, or solutions in all spheres. If today we want to solve our unemployment situation, even if you bring 3 professors together, they should be able to give you the best ideas to combat unemployment. If you talk about industrialization, if you talk about the fact that we need to develop technologically, today we are in the 21st industrial evolution, how we need to catch up with all other countries. Everybody knows what to do. But at the end of the day, it has more to do with that practical mindset, the pragmatic leadership. That is what, for me, the pragmatic link is what is missing. It is the more reason why, as of now, we propose a Ken Agyapong card to be able to drive implementation of those ideas that you have. It's just like when you go into our laws. Look at laws like sanitation laws. How enforceable are they? Look at laws like road safety laws. Interestingly, but it will interest you to know that the most people that flout road safety regulations and road safety laws are even the lawmakers. To the extent that this country, all you need to flout road safety law is you get the Land Cruiser. You get to traffic, you pass, and even if you are, in most cases, the police will even salute you. They're only interested in only arresting the Uber drivers. So yes, I mean, the laws are there, the ideas are there, the policies are there, but we've gone beyond that. We need practical approach, we need implementation. And let me tell you, the problems of Ghana, addressing the problems of Ghana only requires the common sense approach. And for me, that is where Ken Agyapong comes in, the common sense approach in addressing the peculiar problems that confronts the average Ghanaian. So that, like I said, the Ghanaian dream, just like people are living the UK dream, just like people are living the American dream, it can also be realized in our own country.
And you're saying that if you look at Engineer Ken Agyapong, he doesn't have it. You look at your own former boss, Dr. Osei Aduchum, doesn't have it. The former Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, they do not have it. It's only Kennedy that has it.
No, I don't think it's a matter of who has it and who do not have it. It's a matter of who stands tall.
Okay.
And,
all right.
And especially
Kennedy stands tall.
And especially who is winnable.
Okay.
Especially in the 2028 election. Like I told you, these ideas, no matter how great they are, if you do not win political power, it's just like having an iPhone with no internet. It becomes like an ordinary phone, like a yam. So you need the political power. And I'm saying that within the current conversation, within the current context, within the current circumstance, if there is anybody that has proven that he's marketable and that Ghanaians are craving for him. You see, 2028 is not really about even political parties, because at the end of the day, NDC, for instance, is presenting a new candidate. Yeah. I mean, no two ways about that. MPP too, we, as part of, in the spirit of revival, we also need that fresh face, because, I mean, after 16 years of Nanado, Dr. Bawumia, in the spirit of revival, I am of the view that a lot of party people, that's like-minded party people, believe that we also need a fresh face.
But so, you did J. Kufuor 2 times.
Yes.
You did Nana Akufo-Addo. Nana Akufo-Addo was 2008, 2012. Also 2 times, right?
Nana Akufo-Addo, yes, I mean, even one on his is it 2012, and then 2016. And then
he won 2016.
Yeah.
So you gave him 3 times, yes, and he won on a 3rd.
Yes.
Why do you think that for Dr. Bawumia there, he should only go once?
I think there is
try it again.
I think there is a history to that.
Okay.
And the history is that in MPP, before you are given the opportunity to go on the 2nd or 3rd time, there is a caveat. And the caveat is benchmarked on performance. Okay. The performance in the general election. I give you one instance. For instance, Professor Dubois. Okay. You know, Professor Dubois' performance, even compared to our last election, was better. Professor Dubois, at the time where we were transiting from the military era, where we were voting in opaque ballot boxes, there was no openness, there was no transparency. even in spite of all these things, do you know Professor Dubois only lost with 1.18 million votes difference?
Okay.
Compared to 1.7 million votes difference, it's huge. That's about 600,000.
The Professor Dubois lost
1.18 million votes difference. I mean, and looking at the circumstances that were prevailing then, even with that, the party people did not give him a second chance.
Okay.
Because to them, they felt that, I mean, the whole variable is premised on performance. And for that matter, he did not perform. And so they presented President Kufuor. President Kufuor barely had about 4 months to campaign. Even in spite of that, he pulled 39%. And interestingly, the nominal figures that the President Kufuor pulled is still better than what we witnessed in our last election. You see,
what are you saying? Kufuor pulled 2.8 million.
Compared to
how many?
No, I'm saying that. So the point I'm trying to make is that in the history of our political dispensation, our political practice, this is the gravest loss that any political party has ever suffered. So it presupposes that even Kufuor did better than this. Forget about the percentage. You see,
not looking at the percentage.
Yes, exactly. So in terms of that's why I say even in terms of the nominal figures, President Kufuor even still did well. And again, the context is also very important. President Kufuor.
How many votes did the Bawumia poll in the last election?
No, he pulled around 4 point something. But yes, the vote difference is 1.7 million votes difference.
I get it. But if you're talking about figures, I'm saying that Kufuor pulled 2.8 million.
No, it's not about what you pulled. But at the end of the day, how many people also voted? That's also the most important question. That's why I said you have to look at the difference, the loss. The difference, I'm saying that Kufuor's difference was still better than
what
Dr.
But why do you want to blame
Bawumia
it all on one individual, Dr. Bawumia?
It has nothing to do with him. You brought that
argument.
I'm coming.
I brought the question on.
You brought the question, and I'll give you the proper history. That in the history of the MPP, every person that has been given the opportunity to go on a second occasion was caveated on performance. And I was giving you the figures that in our history, this is the worst performance that we've ever witnessed. At the end of the day, I cannot decide for the over 200,000 delegates. But I'm saying that if you are to go by and you are to be guided by the same history that you borrowed, in the case of Professor Dubois, in the case of President Kufuor, and even in the case of Nana Akufo-Addo, Nana Akufo-Addo had never been a former minister of state. Recall, he had never been a former vice president before. The highest position he had ever occupied was a minister of state.
Yes.
But remember, even Nana Akufo-Addo, in his first time, he was able to take the party to a runoff, to the extent that he lost by 23,000 votes different. In that case, the party people will feel comfortable that, well, based on the performance that you demonstrated, we can take you.
But are you saying that that election was solely on Akufo-Addo and not on the performance of the government then, the Kufuor government?
Then, per the logic, we should not be having this conversation by introducing the candidates in, because at the end of the day, everything will be brought down onto the government.
No, I'm asking you a question. We're analyzing. And I'm asking that if you look at the performance that Akufo-Addo put up in 2008, are you saying that you are taking away the impact that the Kufuor government would have had on that particular election?
No, but you see, Akufo-Addo's popularity was also very profound, because at the end of the day, they are not voting for the previous government. They are voting for you, the individual, to be their president.
But they are scoring the performance you've had in government also.
I mean, that it can have a persuasive effect. But I'm not sure you went to vote for Dr. Bawumia or John Mahama. Other than that, if that is the logic, John Mahama was not in government. He had left government for the past 8 years. Are you saying that Ghanaians also voted based on his past record in the past 8 years?
Did you listen to Ghanaians? No. When Ghanaians were telling you things are difficult, things are hard, the city is spiraling, the inflation is, even though you had tried to bring it down, but still inflation was high. People were telling you that no, this is not the sort of governance we're looking for.
That's true.
You're saying that if people say the city was hard, the things were difficult, this is not the governance we're looking for, it means they were scoring you based on what they had experienced.
So these factors and these variables, they are systemic. Are you also suggesting that in President Akufo-Addo's time, when he was contesting, at the time, remember 2008, there was a global economic recession to the extent that the American economy had even run bankrupt. Recall, at that time, Russia, France, all the big nations, literally there was an economic global recession that these big economies had. America had declared bankruptcy for a lot of their economies. How did President Akufo-Addo also pull the 23,000 difference? So the point I want to arrive is that yes, those factors may be persuasive on the average voter, but at the end of the day, the candidates also count. But that is also not to suggest that, I mean, ultimately, we should blame Dr. Bawumia for our loss. No, that will also not be unfair to him. But I mean, I agree. Ultimately, he has to take the bigger responsibility because he led us to the election. But the principle I am trying to advance that if we are to go by history and history to guide us, taking into account all variables, all factors that influences election outcome, election results, the precedent is that MPP, before we allowed you to go, the caveat has always been on performance. It is the more reason why even Professor Dubois was not allowed to go. I'm landing.
You are using an outlier.
Well, Professor Dubois is an outlier.
No, but why? The other example you are citing, you have Professor Dubois, you have J. Kufuor, you have Nanado. Two of these three individuals were given double chances.
What was their performance?
No. Who in your party? Who in your party said that they were looking at the performance to say that this person should go? They just felt that let's take the guy there again for him to go and win it. No, not so.
Per this logic.
It's not a logic.
Hold on.
Just saying that you're using
if it's not a logic, if it's not a logic and it's a philosophy,
okay.
What essentially means is that all you need to become a flag bearer, go and perform poorly. The next elections, automatically you are guaranteed to go again.
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm landing. But that is the inference. Even if it takes you 5-4 election cycles, go again. Because at the end of the day, in MBB, we'll push you to go again.
I am saying that justify why
let me land.
You're choosing an outlier.
No, I gave a history. No, but I'm saying that even with those two others, their performance was good. It was based on that they were given the opportunity to go again.
What the percentage you are? What did Kufuor get?
You see,
I'm coming.
Kufuor had 39.
Kufuor had 39.
Yes.
What did that Bawumia get?
41.
Yes. Is that not a good performance?
Hold on. Now, you see, to have a fair appreciation of their performance, consider the nominal figures and check the vote difference. Okay. In terms of the nominal figures, President Kufuor still did well.
Okay.
In terms of the nominal figures, President Kufuor still did well. So don't let the percentage confuse you.
Okay.
You understand? Because the percentage will be based on also the number of people that voted.
Okay.
You get the point. But I mean, ultimately, we are not dismissing the fact that former Vice President Bawumia has the opportunity to go again. I don't know if the delegates even they're not. Why not? But I'm saying that looking at the history of the party and where we stand now, and how Ghanaians are craving for the grassroots man and change. In the spirit of revival, I am of the view that when we introduce Ken Agyapong, and that's only me, the ordinary Ghanaian, especially most of the grassroots, when we introduce Ken Agyapong, we should be able to win the 2028 elections.
Hey. And you are, what's the ground saying? The ground. What is it?
I mean, like what I told you. That's why I said that you are a journalist. You can go around with your cameras and interview the ordinary Ghanaian. Okay. And I say this in all humility, because at the end of the day, they have the power. Yeah. The Bible has always maintained that the heart of the king is in the hands of the Lord. And he turned it where he likes. We will go to them, appeal to them in a very polite and respectful way. And we are very confident that at the end of the day, they are going to give us that. But let me also hasten to add that the party directive has always been very clear. Okay. That as of now, we are unable to campaign. So all our interests, all our focus now is on the Akwetia by-elections. Okay. And so we are calling on everybody to also come on board to help.
Kwesi Kwarteng Esquire speaks for Kennedy Agyapong Camp, who is running to be elected as flag bearer of the MPP. This is the AM show. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more, please. Do stay with us.
We are for Kenya. Minim and Nasia, for the wonderful things they have done. And the Americans say, Yankopon and Trump. No more, yes, come on. Amen. Senior. Amen. Omo, Ansha, Abi, and Yametinia, Nam morning, no so to me as so much. And then in Gravy and Sassuabaya and Pepsi. Many Bibia can say, Yankopon and Damas. God should bless all of you. Amen. Now, they say, Mama, my chest is out. That I'm going to do a diligent job